singers, it's Laura, and this is the weekly warm-up where I share clear, fun voice education so you can enjoy your singing even more. Now, I have a workshop coming up and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna put all the information over here and I would love for you to attend. It is a workshop all about breath. Everything you could possibly want to know about how singing breath works, how you can harness yours, what to do if you're running out of breath, and when should you breathe. Now, we are going to cover that topic absolutely in great depth during the workshop, but today I want to give you a little teaser with a couple of ideas. Let's start with the low-hanging fruit. And before you say that this is silly or that you already knew this, I want you to check that you are actually doing this. My first piece of advice is to breathe at every marked breath and rest. Now, for many of you, you know this on an intellectual level, but when it comes to actually singing, you are just pausing and then continuing to sing. You're not actually taking molecules of air into your body at those marked breaths or rests. And here is why it's important for you to start doing it. You need to train your body that when you are singing, you can calibrate the breath to the necessity or to the requirements of the phrase that follows. Just like in speaking, where you take smaller breaths for short or quiet speaking and bigger breaths for more extended, loud speeches, you can do the same for your singing. And by taking breaths every place that they are marked, either by a rest or by a check mark or a little apostrophe in your music, you are helping to build that skill of looking ahead, seeing what the requirements of the next phrase are, and then taking an appropriately sized breath. Because, and this is really important, bigger breaths are not always better. If you always take the biggest breath possible and then you sing a bunch of short little phrases, you are going to end up with a whole lot of stale air in your lungs. And do you know what that feels like? It's crazy to think about, but that feels like you can't breathe. It feels like you're running out of air. So if you constantly feel like you're running out, it might actually be the case that you are taking breaths that are too big and not getting the breath out. So, rule number 1, breathe at every marked breath and rest. Number 2, if you don't know where to breathe in a phrase that is not broken up by a rest or a breath mark, I want you to look not to the notes, but to the text. Any sign of punctuation, a comma, a period, an exclamation point, quite rarely in music, a question mark, whatever it might be, any mark of punctuation is going to indicate that there is a cadential point or a little break in the language. And so just in the same way that you would do with your speech, I want you to then make a break in the singing phrase, and that break is a natural place to take a breath. So look through a piece of music that is challenging you on your breath and just find out where is the punctuation. Those will be the natural places for you to breathe. Now, you'll start to find that most composers actually shape their melodies or fit their melodies so that they accommodate these natural breaks in the language. After all, composers are setting the music to that text to actually express the meaning of that text. So by taking breaths where the text naturally breaks with its punctuation, you are actually helping the listener to understand more clearly the meaning of both the text and the music. Now that is just a teaser. If you are interested in learning more about when to take breaths, for example, how to stagger breathe when you're not supposed to breathe over a long section of music, then do come to that workshop. I am so looking forward to it, and I can't wait to show you all of the exercises, tips and tricks to show you how your breath works. I think this session is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope to see you there. Now, in the meanwhile, thank you for practicing.